Hello there, lovely people, it's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and what do you know, it's finally time to review Paper Mario Color Splash. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this for quite some time. Not always for the right reasons, though. For any long-running series, the cornerstone of success is usually innovation to keep people coming back for more. Unless, of course, it's the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Paper Mario has been no stranger to these changes over the course of the years, but the previous entry in the series, Sticker Star, took innovation down a different path. Needless to say, many people weren't popping champagne corks over it. In response to this, we have Paper Mario Color Splash, which was revealed to a, shall we say, mixed reception? It has a lot to prove given the initial reaction, but we think there are enough little surprises to sway a good chunk of the initial naysayers. Everything kicks off on Prism Island, a picturesque little splodge of land that's in total chaos thanks to who else? Mr. Bowsery-Doo. The island and its residents have been drained of their color by an army of slurping shy guys with straws. It's best not to think about it too much. It's up to Mario to team up with a personified paint bucket called Huey with the goal of returning order to this sun-drenched tropical paradise of Isle Delph Prism Island. It's a straightforward plot and one that even the characters seem to be aware of in some semi-meta show of self-awareness, but it's a Mario game. Stick to Xenoblade if you're plot hungry. Yes, the Thousand-Year Door did have an absolutely outstanding plot, but that's one Mario game in how many? Don't think it'll be a total brain starvation-a-thon though, as since Sticker Star the writing has improved insurmountably. We don't want to give too much away as to spoil these fantastic little moments, but it's safe to say the whole thing is absolutely bloody littered with them. Discovering new characters and locations is a joy, even if the latter is split up once again into individual levels accessed through an overworld. But there is a proper sense of progression as all these levels are sort of clustered into so-called chapters, and best of all, the order that you do them in is non-linear. If you've got an option of courses to choose from, chances are you can just go ahead and pick whichever one you want with reckless abandon. You're not tied down to a level-by-level system, which is really refreshing. Once you do get into a level, you'll naturally have to start making the most of the new mechanic of paint. At first glance, it seems like a throwaway gimmick, but it genuinely helps gel the whole game together as it's integral to the plot, gameplay, and combat. Yes, combat, yes. This is where the praise starts to go a little bit south. Evolving from Sticker Star's combat system, Color Splash trims things down and streamlines the whole process, which is great, but it doesn't do enough to make it really worthwhile. You attack with a deck of up to 99 cards, filling them with paint to boost their power and the like, but there's not much variety or any real incentive to enter these battles in the first place. The only rewards you receive from combat are cards, coins, and hammer medals. Collect enough of the latter and you'll be able to improve your hammer's capabilities and be able to store even more paint, allowing battles to be even easier, and that's a running theme. Every battle you enter is just too easy. There's never any real challenge to be had, as we always found our stocks of paint and cards to be comfortably high. Occasionally you're running to Kamek when entering a fight, and he'll add a curse to your deck, such as flipping over all your cards so you don't know which one you're using, or just limiting the number of cards you have access to. It's a good way to shake things up, but it still isn't very hard at all. Things get a bit trickier with boss battles as they all have their own spin on combat, but it doesn't change things up that much. Every boss battle relies on you having a specific thing card, which takes them down a peg or two and would otherwise be impossible. If you don't have the right thing, you're forced to run from the fight and start it all over once you do. The combat is a marked improvement on Sticker Star, but we're still left wanting. But thankfully, it's not the core of the game. The real enjoyment comes from the exploration of new areas and the superb writing that it has in bucket loads. Creepy hotels, archaeological dig sites, a giant poisoned garden, there's real variation in the locales. Sadly, that variation does not extend to the character designs. Toads, toads, toads. Everywhere is filled with toads. There's certainly individuality in regards to personality with these things, but there's so little variation visibly that it's hard to keep track of which one's which. Previous games in the series had masses of variety, so it's a shame it's so lacking here. That being said, the actual characterization of each toad is really good. Some are upbeat, some are gloomy, some just get extremely happy when you cross a bridge. Think of it as being all toads are equal, but some are more equal than others. But let's get on to the important stuff, the fact that this game is the prettiest game on the Wii U! Seriously, rivaled only by the likes of Yoshi's Woolly World, this whole thing is the visual equivalent of a free mint chocolate chip ice cream with your choice of topping. Everything's stylized, everything's beautiful, the paint splashes, the fan blows you around, every single pixel is put to good use. It does only run at 30 frames a second, but when things are this pretty, you just outright don't don't care. On the whole, Paper Mario Color Splash is not a gigantic success mechanically, but when it comes to presentation, it's an audio-visual masterpiece. This really isn't an RPG in the traditional sense, it's much more of an adventure game and should be treated as such. That's why we're proud to give Paper Mario Color Splash an 8 out of 10. The dialogue and presentation are beyond excellent, but due to the uninspired combat sections, in terms of greatness, it just falls shy. Guy. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you make a paper cutout of that subscribe button, take a photograph of it, send it to us on Twitter, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye. Mario teams up with a personified paint can called Huey in order to restore... Mario teams up with a personified paint can called Huey in order to return order to this... Once you do get into a level, you'll naturally have to start making use of the new mechanic... Meh.